What is up, guys? Welcome to a new video. Today we're checking out some god tier champions for lower ranks right now. I did one of these about 6 weeks ago and I've been working on this one, collecting stats for about a month. I'm thinking I might just make one of these every month to see what's changing and stuff like that. So if you want me to do that, let me know in the comments and leave a like on the video. Now before we start, I'm not trying to tell you that you have to play these at all. The truth is you can play anything at lower ranks to climb if you learn the champion properly. If you're struggling though, then these are statistically more effective at climbing and will make it easier in bronze, silver and gold than others. Timestamps will be down below for bronze, silver and gold, but I'll be going over each role for each tier in this video, and I've tried to not make these the obvious ones either. So let's start with the bronze then. We want simple but strong champions, easy to do their job but hard to play against, so you can focus on the general game and not worry about doing the right thing or combo with your champion. We're going to start with top lane, and top in bronze is basically an island where the better player wins. In general, it's going to come down to who is stronger in the lane phase and who can get ahead. People don't really know how to recover that well, which means they end up getting dove under tower. They'll lose a tower and you'll be able to get a huge lead. So with that in mind, we have two. First up is going to be Swain, one of the best champions in this entire video for top lane right now and in the past month. He is a simple kit, he's easy to play, but he's very hard to play against. You have a targeted damage over time, you have an area of effect damage and wave clear, the ultimate to survive, and even crowd control to lock someone down. Any melee champion who gets close will hate their lives against you. You'll get a good lead and then you'll become unkillable mid-game in teamfights as well. Yorick is a surprise one for me, but stat-wise one of the most effective at lower ranks. Partly, I'm sure, because people don't understand how he works, partly because you have a ton of damage, and partly because you're pretty tanky. Once you get a Spirit Visage and Trinity Force, you basically just don't die. Your ghouls and your ultimate are hard to deal with. With the lead, you can lock them down in that cage thing and pound them into the ground. I'm not going to spend loads of time on each role because otherwise this video will be super long. So moving on to the jungle, we want to be able to gank but have good farm. We also want a good team fight so you can actually carry, but we want consistent games where you're effective if you can gank or not, if they're successful or not. Savia is the big power pick jungler for lower ranks for the past month. She's crushed basically every other jungler. She has damage, crowd control, she gets relatively tanky, she has good ganks and good farm. She's just so well rounded. You really cannot go wrong with Vi, and you can hard carry games. That is the most important thing. The next one is Amumu with a more AP defense build than full tank. You have good ganks with your Q, you can farm easily, and you have a monster team fight. One of the best things is that even the dumbest teammates can follow up on that massive Amumu ultimate, and if they don't, then you can probably kill them anyway yourself. For mid lane, this is one of the power roles in season 7. A lot of the game is going to rest on you to either make it very easy for your team or very hard. If you can get a lead and have good pressure, you don't die to ganks and you try to roam, those are going to be the key things to winning easily. The Ziggs is not someone that I'd usually recommend for bronze because you're fully skill shot reliant, but stats really don't lie and he's popular and extremely good. It does make some sense because you have good wave clear, your lane phase is good, you can farm from range, you can poke from range, you have massive AoE damage in team fights, and you're kind of easy to play really. There are a lot of more advanced things you can do with him, but at a basic level you just throw out your Q and the poke really hurts. Brand again is a little bit different, and this is for mid and support. He does a crap ton of damage and your W is very easy to hit. It's got a massive radius. All you have to do is poke over and over, then you combo if you can, and people just die. Like, I've thought about going with someone like Annie for example, who is easier here, but Brand has been god tier this past month. He's been really good. So for AD carries, we want a decentish lane phase. We want hard to play against and have an impact, even though AD carries are tough to play in this meta, honestly. Misfortune is the freelo champion for lower ranks. The better you get with her, the more rewarding it's going to be. The better bounces with your Q, the better ultimates, and your positioning should be better. Honestly, she's not really even an AD carry. Like, you're all ability damage basically, which is easier than attack moving, and auto attacks, she build lethality, you press her on their team in fights, and it's over. There is actually no other AD that has done well this month in bronze. That is how rough it is playing AD at lower ranks. Varus and Jinx are the closest too, so Varus pokes from very far away, similar to Misfortune with his abilities, and Jinx is simple but impactful auto-based AD. As I always say, support is probably easier to carry than AD in bronze, sadly. You want to bully in the lane phase where you have a lot of control, and you want to roam. Blitz is the ultimate kill lane. Even with the worst AD carry, you're going to get some kills in the lane phase. You do like 75% of the damage from work anyway, you catch bad players, you make plays even mid-game. Now Sona is a much more simple support, but you do so much damage. If you build some AP, which trust me, I recommend, you'll end up doing a disgusting amount of damage and healing for a ton. She is really good this past month. She's always very good at low elo because of how simple and how effective she actually is. So moving on to silver, we're looking to build on stuff now. So we still have simple champions, but those who can make opponents' lives harder now as well. You want to be getting a lead, but you also want to be putting your opponent behind. That is the easiest way to win a game, honestly, in silver. And similar to bronze for the top lane, we want to win our lane, but win it harder now. We want to tilt and we want to punish the enemy top lane and make them useless does make us super strong, and that is how we want to try and win there. So Swain, again, as I said, the guy is a beast at every rank right now for top lane, but we're focusing more on the punish aspect, so damage over time into a root and ultimate to finish them off. You can easily 1v2 if you get a lead, you have a lot of damage, and you can punish very hard. You play for the lane phase, and the rest kind of does itself. The other one is Sion. So Yorick is still very good actually here, but Sion is also here, so I decided to go with something a bit different. It's a bit of a surprise for a tank to be here, but his base damage is really high. It will catch people off guard more, and your ultimate is also good damage and engage later into the game. Engaging is actually quite an important aspect of playing a top laner or just in the game in general. With a lead, you need to pick good fights to end the actual game, right? You have to fight to end the game really, and you have the control of when and where you fight. Moving on to the jungle, we want to be able to gank a bit more now, but still have a good late game to end and carry. So we have more responsibility early, but also more control as well. The lane that gets behind is more like to feed here and for it to actually matter. Your team will probably be able to use a lead better and take advantage more like against a 0-13 Yasuo, for example. Savai again is the first one, similar to Swain in this video. To be honest, like here in silver, we see a spike in assassins now, and you 100% counter them by pressing R. Honestly, the enemy is more likely going to rage in all chat about having no counterplay, a stupid champion, an easy champion, brain dead, whatever, then stop jumping in to try and kill someone. Your damage can also 100% still solo carry, so you don't really have to rely on your team very much. Kha'Zix is the next one, even with the nerfs this patch still going to be here. The snowball style of game and putting the enemy behind by ganking a ton and having an insane amount of damage to finish it off. There is a lot more pressure with Kha'Zix than there is with Vi. It's a bit hard to play, but we can hunt down people, we can 1v1 the enemy jungler, gank, and even one-shot mid-game. Stat-wise, he has a really good play rate and a good win rate as well. That's the mark of an actual solid jungler over a consistent amount of games. Mid is still really important in silver. Usually I say roaming is better so you can help your team, but it seems to have changed a bit. The focus is more on early fights or skirmishes or team fights now and doing damage from range. You don't really want to rely on your team very much at all. Not many people do more damage from range than Ziggs, right? You're able to poke and reduce health bars before a fight. You can punish 1v1 kind of, but late game, unless they dodge everything, you're going to carry so hard. You're also very good at punishing bad roam times. They roam, you get their tower very easily. You can even get 2 towers probably. Anivia is a bit of a strange one because I think she's hard to play than a lot of these in this video, but not in some ways actually. What I mean is at a basic level, she's very straightforward. Like you stun, you ult, use your E, and that's pretty much it, right? Also, we said there are loads of more assassins right now, and your egg is the ultimate counter. Especially for team fights, you don't really need your team to help you or protect you really, and actually it kind of works as a natural deterrent. They're probably not going to focus you because they know you have your egg anyway. Ahri is the most well-rounded champion in the game in my opinion. A lot like Vi right now, she has sustain, wave clear, poke, assassin, burst potential, roaming is super good, and you're really safe with your ultimate too. There's not really too much to say because I always talk about her, but she's really good in silver. Again, it's kind of a rough month for AD carries. Actually, not many are doing that well at this elo bracket, but it's mostly about making do, doing what we can, I guess, with what we have, farming well, grouping, and helping your team to carry the game. Misfortune is still top tier by far. You should be doing better in the lane phase now and landing more of those Q bounces, bullying your opponents, and hopefully getting some kills. Either way, in team fights though, you're going to be able to carry with that massive ultimate damage, and this is a really big thing. She's probably the only AD carry who can really impact a game and solo carry it herself. Jinx is the other one. She's a right-click beast. She's very simple but very effective. You're not going to be like the flashiest champion ever, right? You don't get the flashiest kills ever, but you get the job done. You stay in rocket form, you let the runes and crits do the damage, you take tower super fast, you get that first tower blood, which is really good, and you won't find yourself being useless at least. For supports, we're playing the can I keep the AD carry alive in the farming game now, pretty much. We're turning into like a babysitting simulator. Sona is more of the aggressive side of things at the moment, so she has good damage, especially if you build AP, which I still think is for the best at the moment. You can help your AD in lane. She's very easy to play with, which is really good. It helps your AD carry. You can bully the enemy AD, but you can also do work in team fights with your aura spam. Striker is the other side where you keep people alive who really should be dead. You're like the most anti-fun and aggression champion ever. It's really hard to punish a Soraka lane and put them behind. Plus, you can help your entire team with your ultimate. So now we're moving on to gold. This is where you should really start to look at carrying the game yourself now, especially in the early game. You want to win your lane, you want to get a lead and use that lead to create an even bigger advantage. Swain is the same reasons as before. He's so hard to play against, but he can actually carry as well. People are going to start realizing Executioner's calling counters you, but even then, that doesn't stop how brutal the lane phase can be to play against him. Quinn is a surprise pick, but she's solid over the past month, even better since the lethality changes recently actually. Quinn is the definition of a roam god though, if you think about it. You do okay in the lane phase because you're ranged, and then you roam around with Ghost Blade, Dust Blade, and you just one-shot people. Looking at the jungle, ganking is much more effective now. Early game means a bit more, and we can snowball that lead more effectively, I think. It's less about safe and farming picks and more about carrying, in my opinion. Shaco always feels weird putting him on these like low elo videos because I think he's pretty hard to play, honestly, but consistently he's been a beast this month, even being out Vi in gold win rates. Lethality has helped you can win everyone's lane for them and then just one-shot people for the rest of the game. Kind of fun to play against, right? But that's actually a thing. Like, it's really hard to play against a good Shaco. As well as Shaco, Vi and Kha'Zix are both doing well. So Vi technically wins more, but Kha'Zix is played more. So it's actually very similar. Kha'Zix is more of a solo carry assassin, whereas Vi has the crowd control to be more of a team player alongside a damage. That's kind of the difference. So moving on to mid lane, we can either be lane and roam focused, or we can farm and we can be team fight focused. So the first one is Talon. He fits the first idea, right? Good in lane and able to roam like a beast because he ignores walls and he ignores wards. He has a lot of damage, especially if he gets ahead, and he's probably one of the more reliable assassins at the moment because you can jump in, use your ultimate to kill someone and get away. Xerath is the other side of things. You farm in the lane phase, you're actually decent though, you have a lot of damage so you can pick up kills, but once you get a few items, you'll be sniping people all day. If you get ahead, you are deadly. I'm actually really afraid to play against a fed Xerath. It's horrible. They can't get close without taking a bunch of damage to the face, and you don't even need your team to do that. Misfortune is still free though. The lane phase by now should be really strong, and you should be chunking them over and over with bounces, getting more kills with your ultimate and just taking over the lane phase. The only thing to remember here is to group and team fight so you can use your ultimate. You're not a split push 1v1 kind of AD, even if you have a lead. Jhin starts to make his appearance now as a really good AD in gold though. It's the first Ela bracket where multiple ADs actually have good win rates. You have a lot of damage on Jhin, you're good in the lane phase, but you also have that utility side of things. So you can pick people, you can start fights, but you can also snipe from super far away and out of danger. Finally, for support, either you want to hard carry by killing stuff and getting a lead that way, or by making sure your team cannot screw it up themselves. Zyra did just get nerfed, but I think she's still going to be able to do what puts her in this video. So she's super squished, making mistakes really shows on her, to be honest, which is why we didn't feature her earlier. You have a lot of damage and you can easily top the damage charts and control the lane phase, but if you step too far forward, you'll probably die. The thing we're really looking for though is the amount of bullying you can do in the lane phase and actually transitioning that into a mid-game team fight, which is really powerful. Soraka is similar as before. You can't really lose lane to Soraka, and it stops the enemy AD getting fed as well as stopping your AD getting behind. Mid-game though, you have a silence which used correctly is really good, heals, ultimate to keep people alive, and just really hard to play against. You either focus the Soraka and you stop the healing, or you somehow burn through the hills, but both of those options are really hard to do in an actual team fight. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is based on opinion and a lot of stats that I've collected over the past month. If you enjoyed it, throw it a like, make sure you subscribe to the channel, but for now, let's go to the robots.